A couple of different things. I was reading about Cyntoia Brown, who is a young woman in Tennessee who was very young when she had a very difficult family life, and she was she wanted to leave her home, so she was involved in trafficking, human trafficking. So there was a this man who was uh, controlling her life in that sense and selling her to other men. And he decided to rape her one night, and he had a bunch of firearms with him, and she was really terrified for her life, and she ended up killing him. And of course, she went to prison for it. And the other story was about an ex-policeman in California who was arrested in 2018 for being the Golden State Killer. He was a serial rapist as well as a murderer and a burglar, and he pled guilty to all of that last year in 2020. So I started reflecting on these two stories, and I kind of put them together and wrote a monologue, which later I developed into a 10-minute play.
I love the view of friendships of these women, because they are older women, and how powerful and quirky and funny they are, and because they have history, they how they interact with one another, and just and because we all have these kind of friends that they know us so well, and we can't BS them, and I think you know I think if you bring your bestie and or watch it with your bestie, it just there's going to be things that you're gonna relate to.
I like them to be talking about mandatory sentencing in prisons and how it's really been a very destructive force in our society. And fortunately, in the past few years, several states have stopped doing that. Mandatory sentencing is when, no matter what the circumstances are for a particular crime, there is a minimum sentence. And also sentencing children as adults, which happens a lot as well. So that's really crazy from my point of view, because children, I mean, they're very different from adults in so many different ways, and to take the action of a child and consider that under the optics of an adult is just not right, for a lot of different reasons. So I would like people to be talking about that, and also just the fact that you know men get away with so much in our society, especially with in terms of violence against women, and very often women are punished for it. And I don't think that's fair. So yeah, I'd like people to be talking about those things.
I would say, I think what every woman will say at this festival is submit, like do it. I mean, and just keep writing, and and find your tribe, find a group of people, your squad, uh, who are writing. There's or form one, and just keep at it. I've been doing this for over 10 years, and being more involved with theater, and I just say, just do it, go for it, go for it.
Personally, I think it's because men's voices have been loud and clear for so long. I mean, it's when I first started acting, because I'm also an actor, it was very difficult to find monologues that I really liked, because most of them were written by men. And so that's why I think it's really essential for women's voices to come out. And I really appreciate what Joe had to say about, women just coming out and saying whatever it is they want to say and however they want to say it, because it's been just so long that that hasn't been happening. And now finally there are more women coming out. So that's great.
Yeah, I agree with Laurie. I mean, we make up such a small demographic as far as writers, producers, anybody on the technical side, it's what was it, 11%, um, and that's for everything, like for every aspect of theater. So and people who are part of the BIPOC community are it's even smaller. So I think and we're half the world. So I think we need to support one another and band together and support each other's work and go out and see each other's work and so festivals like this are very important because all the classics and great plays are written by men for men and about men. So like so yeah, so I think it's really important that we hear these voices because there's amazing stories out there, and and there's amazing stories to come. So I think it's important.
If you're a theater lover, please support theater.
Yes. Yeah, ditto what you said.
Seriously, I mean, theater, right now, because of the pandemic and lockdown and everything, and now this whatever wave it is of COVID still going through, theaters are having a really hard time. So if you love live theater or even virtual theater,
Yeah.
please support it. Even if it's only like spending $10 to see a show, just do it, because it's so essential to writers, actors, directors, tech people, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's and like it may inspire you, and art is so important. And it's art saves lives, and it's important to support it. And yeah, so come out and do that, and you may be inspired to write or act or be part of the technical world with theater. So